I'm on. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna wait till a couple people get on, and then I'll go ahead and introduce you, and we'll get started.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Cowboys won the last seconds of the game. Literally had me stressing. It's a game we should have easily won from the jump. And for the Raiders, yeah, I mean they're winning now, but they lost against
They
the
messed us up
Rams.
at the beginning, like they always do. They make
Yeah.
me mad, but I won't leave them. That you know what I mean? I'll always be a Raider.
Well, you
Always.
hear what Las Vegas is doing, right? To
Huh?
be a, to be a season ticket holder from California, you have to take a background check, and you can't have no felonies.
Oh
And they're
wow,
doing that just to Californians.
that's crazy.
And to get in the stadium, you cannot have a Oakland or LA Raider entire. You either have to say just Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders.
I always still say Oakland.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't say Oakland or LA, or they won't let you in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Because they want the new to promote Las Vegas. That's why.
yeah, but still, Raiders, regardless where they're at.
All right.
Anybody on yet?
You,
Anybody on yet? I have no clue. Can you see on your end if anybody's on yet?
what will it say? Where would it say it at?
Views.
I don't have any views.
Okay. Do you see the where it says views?
Nope. I don't have that option.
Okay. Yeah, I want to need
Hold on. What's going on?
Is there anybody on yet?
You guys should just start. We'll start.
Yeah, Elena can't see the views or chats or nothing.
I can't, and it's okay. Even if they're not on, they can get on later as we talk because they're always able to review it.
See it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we could just go ahead and go forward because my time is precious, and
on the bottom,
I gotta get ready.
Live chat. You click on that, maybe that. But after that, we'll go ahead and
I don't
get
see
started.
anything. Okay.
All right. So, all right, everybody. Whoever watches this later on, whoever gets on, if anybody's on right now. So, I got a good friend of ours, sister of ours. I want to introduce Elena, or actually, I'll let her introduce herself. This way, you guys get exactly who I'm talking to. Go ahead, Elena.
Hi, my name is Elena, and I am an Otampipash and Chickasaw native from the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. And I grew up in the Bay Area my whole life since I was 15 years old. Came back home to the reservation in 2009 and started learning kind of like inner healing, because when you come back home, you know all the past comes to you. In a way, I was running, so I'll get a little bit more into it later, because the topic is called Ascension, and it's personal ascension. With that word, it's very powerful. I got into my spirituality since the Bay Area, but recently, about a year ago, to be on this level where I'm at, and it's all about shifting. And it took me a long time to get where I needed to be, but I want to share that with the world and let you know that your thoughts are very powerful, your attitude's very powerful. So what you put out comes back. It comes back to you. So it's important the way you think out there on what you do every day, and try to keep it positive. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's one thing with me, taking back to my incident, like I was telling you before, how in the pictures they show a bunch of orbs around me, and I guess and it wasn't raining that morning, it wasn't wet that morning, it was completely dry, so they can't put that it was wet, but there was all kinds of orbs, different color orbs, different colors inside the orbs. And when I was out of my pickup truck in the ambulance, there was the pictures of the truck. There was no longer orbs, but when the ambulance was driving away, they were showing the amulets, there's orbs all around the amulets as well. So
Yeah.
so let's go ahead
Mm.
and get started. So if you can explain a little bit about pretty much your knowledge, this is, why I wanted to get you on, because
Okay.
one of our conversations, it got deep, and you know so much, and there's so much that I want to learn from you, and hopefully a lot of people can learn and just take from it and run with it.
Okay. Well, um, I've known my brother here and his wife, who is like a sister to me, since I want to say 1990. No, no, no. Let me take that back. It was in 2003. I met also at work. We both worked at Winco. That was in Lathrop, and he introduced me to his wife like what, a couple days later,
Yeah.
and then we all hit it off. And then I worked graveyard, and um, Kim would make me abondigas and tell me to come get it. And she warmed my heart. I was going through a lot. I chose a life that was very toxic. I had a habit of doing that because when I talk about the ascension, it'll all make sense a little later on. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up on the reservation at 9 years old, but prior to that, it was Phoenix. Um, I ended in a lot of foster homes. My family was a split family. I lived with my father and his family on the Gila River Indian Community, District 6. It's called Levine. And that's where I first started to meet my um, spirit team, if you will. I didn't know it at the time. I just thought of it as being my safe haven with things that were happening to me on the reservation. And throughout my life, I would always have this one spirit visit me in the Bay Area. Um, I drank a lot. I smoked a lot of PCP since I was 15 years old till um, 19, when was it? No, 2002. And it was off and on. It was in increments. That's why I still have my brain. Um, but I was running. I was trying to numb. I was angry. And so I grew up around a lot of violence. So I fought a lot. I started a lot of crap. I lied a lot. Um, this is my truth. And I got in trouble a lot. Um, so when you fast forward it to me coming home in 2009, when I got home, I really wasn't welcome because I was considered city. I didn't grow up on the reservation. In between that, I had de-enrolled in Gila River, where my father's from, and enrolled in Salt River, where my mom is from, because I wanted to be or have a piece of my mother, because I never had a relationship with her like I wanted. And it was no, now that I'm healing, I know it was not the fault of my mom. She only did what was best in her life and her choices, what she could do for herself. But at the time, I thought it was just mean and she hated me and things of that nature. But in reality, she didn't, because she came to visit me after she passed, and told me, that she's sorry that she couldn't love me in this world, but that she loves me in the spirit world and she'll never leave me. And that was the most beautiful thing to have and to carry to this day with me, knowing that. And but as I was saying, throughout the times, I always had a gift of where I seen spirits, if you will, or our ancestors, whatever the case may be. I call them my team. Um, and uh, when you feel like you don't fit in, you don't belong, you kind of find yourself liking the fact of being alone, um, kind of hermit mode, if you will, and you find peace in that. instead of indulging into liquor or drugs or smoking or any type of addiction, games or anything like that, use that time for solitude to stay in your stillness. And it's painful. I'm going to let you know it's not easy. But you start to ascend, and that's what this live is about. It's about ascending personally. It's about, if you want something different with your life and you want change, if you want a shift and you're just tired of the bull crap. And yes, us spiritualists, we cuss because we're human. And you have this personal connection with Creator, who is God. But Creator is who I like to call him. And there's the ascended masters, and then there's our guardian angels, and there's our archangels, our angels. There's so much when you start to ascend, when you start to shift. We are all here placed on this earth for a purpose, and it's your job to personally find out what that purpose is. It's not to be a follower. It's not to just wake up every day, go to work, get a paycheck, pay the rent. No, it's more than that. It's going within and finding your personal enlightenment, finding your personal peace with self, loving self. And I want to say, back from the beginning of my years, I never loved myself. And here I was, a beautiful native woman, and I just could not love myself because I didn't feel loved. So when I started to go within, when I started to do my prayers and my affirmations and my meditations, I started, I would look in the mirror and just say, I love you, Elena, I love you. And it felt weird at first. So when you start to practice that, because that's the first and foremost is loving self. And you just keep telling yourself, even when you don't believe it, you keep saying it and then you start believing it. And now today, I love myself so much. My boundaries are healthy. My boundaries are strong. And, um, when I would speak to also and Kim every now and again, and then when I go to California, I made sure I went to go see them because they were my family, because I wasn't close to my family growing up. And they were my family, and their kids love me like an auntie, even if I'm not around all the time. When I do see them, it's nothing but mad love and respect. And I love his daughters and his sons. And so it's just like, you create your own family. So like today, where I'm at is, I'm about spreading that seed, being the vessel, being the door for Creator God every day, doing his will and not my own, because we are all born with free will. And a lot of times our free will get us in trouble, especially if you're selfish, especially if you have bad behaviors that you've picked up from growing up that became a norm, and it ain't right. In your heart of hearts it ain't right, but yet you still do it because it's an addiction. It's a behavior pattern that you need to fully um, connect with personally on a personal basis and say, you know what? I don't like being that person no more, or I don't like doing that no more. I'm going to stop. And that's just between you and Creator and your team. And when I say your team, like I said, I've always had spirits since I was a little girl. Since I was 9 years old is when I first met them. And I've just been very blessed. And when I would try to talk about it to people, and people would say, I'm a witch, I'm crazy, I'm this and that, um, when you start to understand the spiritualism, when you understand what spiritualism means, it doesn't matter what anybody says, because what is truth is between Creator, you, and that's it. Because when you die, your flesh is going to stay here on earth, but your spirit is going to live on, and it's going to continue on. That's why when we see ghosts, and sometimes the energy is evil, sometimes the energy is bad. When you work in your spirituality and you get those tools, that armor, of God around you, and your ancestors and all that around you, you're going to be able to fight against that evil. You're going to be able to say, no, 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 no. It ain't happening here. Nope. But you're not going to be afraid, because you're going to be courageous and fearless. You're going to be tooled up, because it's between you and God. You have this different type of power, this different type of strength. And it's like one foot is in the spirit world and the other foot is on earth. It's like, that's how I look at my life today. And it's like, the more that I know, that I understand how entities and spirits are stuck here, um and they're just angry and they're mad, and so they like to hurt people or scare people. They feed off that fear. They feed off it. And if you're drunk or under the influence and something like that, man, you're an easy take, man. They're going to take your vessel, your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. They're going to possess you. There's all kinds of energies that happen. And if you're not strong enough, it's going to make you go crazy. And it may make you do things that you normally don't do. And so, oh God, I'm getting all these downloads. It's like, before I agreed to be with my brother to get on here, I usually just stick to myself. I don't like to tell nobody anything, because like I said, they say I'm crazy, they say I'm a witch, they say I'm all this, and I'm none of that. All I am is, I love God. I love God so much, and I'm gonna cry. I love him so much that all I want to do every day is do his will, because I'm tired about the other bullshit. I'm tired of all the other actions that I did when I was younger, and I made some major mistakes, some big mistakes that I can't take back, but I can make up for it. So when things go wrong in your life, and it's just not working today, like say something keeps dropping, you can't hold on to anything, you can't think of anything, when you're driving off to work and just things are going wrong, those are your tower moments. Those are your tower moments where it's just saying, okay, chill, breathe, take that deep breath, count to 5 Mississippis, 1 Mississippi, to 5 Mississippis, blow out. Do that 3 times and see if that will make you feel a little better, a little bit more sane. And then you just ask Creator God, your God, Jesus, whoever, whatever you call him. He is all of the same. And yet we have this division in religion of, my church is this, my church is better, you got to go to this church. And then when you're in these churches, it depends on your zip code where you can go to church. I just find it so funny when reality people, your church is right here, this whole body. This is your church. You're in church 24/7. He watches you. You can't escape from him. He knows what you're thinking. He's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And
it's about.
it's funny
Go ahead.
how, well, not funny, but we were the other day when we were conversating over the phone, we had spoke about churches, and you brought up a very, very, very good point on how one church is puts down another church, but at the same time, when you get these people putting down other churches, like you said, they need to look in the mirror and ask is it Christian like to sit there and judge another church when God says himself you can't be judgmental at all.
Right. Well, we're not supposed to judge. I mean, it even clearly says it in the Bible, when that, do not judge lest thee be judged, right? And there's truth there. Like if you really, really get into the spirituality, you'll start understanding what truth is, and you'll start understanding that. So what if this person lives a certain life? You can't judge them. You just got to pray for them and wish them the best, and send them healing with your energy, and be that energetic energy, because there's so many downers out here. When I say downers, it's like they're just so negative about everything, and they play the victim a lot. rather than just saying, you know what, F this. I'm going to go. I know what I need to do. I'm going to go ahead and handle it. Baby steps. Just start taking baby steps, making those phone calls or whatever it is. But what I was telling my brother also was that, you know, people will judge you when you start getting into your spirituality. They'll start saying you're crazy. Oh, don't do that. That's black magic and all this and that. And I'm gonna tell you, you know what truly black magic is when somebody hates somebody so much and wish them ill will. They wish bad on them. That's black magic because they're wishing it on them. That's a no-no, because whatever you put out in this world comes back to you tenfold, guaranteed. It will come to you. It'll come to your family. It'll come to your children. It'll come to your offsprings that are beyond in the next generation. That stuff ain't no joke, and nobody gets taught that, you know. And so the best thing to do is live and let live, and allow people to make their own mistakes and don't carry on their burdens. That's something I just recently learned, is not to carry anyone else's burdens, not even my children, but to carry my own and handle it, because I have a job to do, and that job is to live on this earth no matter the chaos. This world just sucks. It really does. But there's out there too that suck, you know, with the other aliens that are just mean, and I believe in aliens. But when just living my are working on our relationship, into that relationship, the naysayers, the haters, whatever the case may be, however you want to call it, that's not going to get to us this time. We're not going to allow other people's feedbacks, other people's judgments into what we want for ourselves and for each other. So when you start to learn these things and you start to grow and you start to let go of bad behaviors, you shift. And then when you shift, you go to a higher level. That's when you ascend. You ascend platforms, because it's massive. It's just think of the galaxy, to picture the galaxy, and it's got all these stars and planets and black holes and everything. Door to you one on one, personally, in that connection with the maker, but a must be to her.
You're starting to. If you can hear me, you're starting to cut out.
Also,
Yeah, can you hear me?
are you
Hold on, I'm starting to cut out.
frozen?
Kim, Kim, right now.
I'm starting to
There you go. Okay.
but I'm about that. Okay, are you there? Okay.
Yeah. Let's,
So
let's,
I'm really glitching on my end. And see, I'm gonna tell you guys something. See how it's glitching, see how it's acting up? That's because that evil part of the energy don't want you to know the truth. Don't want me to plant the seed out there for the universe to see and understand and know that you need a personal relationship with Creator God in your team. That is those that have passed on, that come down, like how they were around also to save his life, because he has a purpose. He has a solid purpose. Yes, he's blind. Yes, there's other things wrong that had happened from the wreck, but you do not see this man hate no one or judge no one for nothing. He just don't want nobody to drink and drive. He's adamant about it because look what happened to him by a drunk driver. and my sister Kim to be so strong, and she's driven, and no matter these towers that keep falling, she keeps going. Sometimes she wants to give up, but no, 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 you keep going because you know there's a purpose, you know there's a plan, and that's it's truth. And I may get a lot of negative talkers right now that say what I'm saying is BS, but I guarantee you I'm talking to the telling you the truth. I know I am. It's my truth. It's what keeps me up every day, keeps my blessings, and I am blessed. I am really blessed.
And you see,
Go ahead, Oso.
that's what I like about my channel. Everybody knows I'm positive. I keep my channel positive. I don't like no negative. Life is too short for any kind of negativity. So I'm
Right.
pretty sure everybody that watches it, or if anybody's on right now, I'm pretty sure they're enjoying this, and they're gonna get something positive out of this, because they know, the little platform I do have, they know it's nothing but positivity. Besides, talking, raising awareness of drinking and driving, and me DJing. For the most part, they know this channel is nothing but positivity.
Yeah. And that's how you got to keep it, because again, what you send out is what comes back. And everything boomerangs. It goes full circle. It comes all the way around. You want to send out bad ill will towards somebody, guess what? You're going to get sick. Or somebody that you love dearly is going to get sick. It comes back. So just be mindful of those thoughts. Be mindful of those words, and just keep it positive. Just like, ooh, that person gets on my nerves, Lord, but bless her.
Like that
Bless
old
her.
saying,
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, ugh.
yeah, like that old saying, misery loves company.
Right.
At the
Or,
same time,
like, yeah. You just got to think of other ways of trying to combat. And yes, we do argue. Yes, we get angry, and I'm talking about self. Like, but you do it to God. You tell him, like, I'm so freaking pissed. I'm so angry. But then all of a sudden, you say, Father, calm me down. Help me to find the solution. Help me to look at this with love. This is a tower moment right now. Help me to learn what it is that I need to learn from this tower moment. Take what I need, leave the rest, and just learn from it and be a better person today for myself, for Creator. And then for those around me who's going to come up in my energy, just send
yeah,
out that energy. And I try to keep it positive for the most part.
Mr. Freeze.
No.
Yeah, and that's what life. Life is too short for any kind of negativity. I know sometimes it gets hard. It gets real hard, and he's, for the most part, got to try to stay positive in every means of the way.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's really hard when you live in a world like this that's chaotic. It's really hard because nothing will go your way. It's not working. But if you stay in that whirlwind, if you stay in that whirlpool of nothing going your way, how can you find solution?
Yeah,
How can you find it? Because you're staying in this circle, like, "Ugh, it just ain't working. Fuck it. You know, I'm just gonna go get high, or I'm just gonna go get drunk, or I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that, but I'm gonna numb out, whatever, because there's just so many addictions out there today. So many games. Games are addiction. Constantly being on that game. I gotta get to this. I gotta get to this. And I am guilty of games because I love my games. I play Harry Potter. And it's just just getting through like those little diamonds or those little circles and stuff like that, and it'd be wanting you to buy stuff, and I'd be wanting to buy. And it's not, why do I shouldn't do that though? That's that company making money, not me. I'm losing money, so why would I want to buy? So
right,
it's stuff like that. That's an addiction. That's a whirlwind. I'm not getting anywhere. They're benefiting from it, but I'm not. So what do? I got to stop the game. I got to say, okay, that's it. I'm not going to touch it today. you
Right.
know, stuff like that. You know, there's just the little things. They're small, and it's okay to make mistakes, but learn from them. Learn. Don't continue to keep on making the same mistake, and you know it ain't right, and you know it ain't right. I'm reaching somebody out there.
Yeah. And it's a trip because I know like the other day we were talking, and I know you got so much to say and so much to teach, and it's powerful. Like our conversation the other day, it was powerful, it was meaningful, it got real deep, and I know you were. I don't know if you want to put it out here yet, but I know you were doing so much positive things in your life now, and you're trying to open up your own, or not trying.
Business.
You open up your
I am
own business
opening
and stuff.
up.
If you want to, I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to say it on here just yet, or if you want to put it out there a little bit what you're doing.
Okay. So, well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. What I'm doing is I'm creating a website, um, and it's to promote indigenous sellers, growers, makers, performers, whatever they want, but they're indigenous. And when you think of indigenous right now, you think of American Indians in the United States, Canada, parts of Mexico, because my Otham and Pipash descendants are in Mexico. We have big clans out here for Pipash as well as Otham. And to you all, you guys know us as Pima and Maricopa. But I refuse to use those names because that's not our name. That's to us. Story of who we were. We probably wouldn't use those names either. So, but what I'm doing on this website, designer
Hold on, hold
create the page, and it's authentic. Did I freeze? Oh,
yeah,
so
you're starting.
what I do is I'm freezing. Maybe it's not meant for me to
Yeah, hold
tell.
on, hold on. There it goes. Okay, you're back on. You're back on. Good.
Okay. So, anyway, what this does is we're promoting indigenous. And it's authentically made product. Each product that is being sold is going to be on these platforms. This is my honey. Look at him. Say hi. And so, anyways, on this platform, we are going to have different pages, and there's going to be one specific page that is only for ceremonial purposes, and you cannot get in this page unless you are um, have a CIB. Those that know what CIB is, they're indigenous, and they would have to give their information in order to get in that site to get their things that they need for their tribal ceremonies. And so it's going to start off with that, but there's going to be a massive page that is going to have a platform for each seller, and this is worldwide, and my focus is Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. That's my main focus in my market. But I mean, of course, it's going to be in the United States because it's our people. And I just really feel that having this indigenous component about it's my branders are indigenous, my marketers are indigenous. Everyone I am putting on this that is creating this business is Native American in some sense, except for the web developers. I mean, I try to look for indigenous web developers, and I just can't find anyone that's going to be able to create a website such as mine and encrypt it so soundly that it's going to protect the buyer and the seller. So it's called Mesquite Butterfly Trades, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that name out there. I already have it in USTPO, and I also have it with my tribe, my license with the tribe, and then I'll do some DBAs underneath it because we want to promote health and wellness mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We want to create some other DBAs, women, Indigenous Women United. where it would be a focal point for women. We're also going to create podcasts for that's going to meet the needs of the world. Something like what we're doing right now. But
Right.
only I'll have other speakers and in talking about some really deep trauma and how they are healing from it, because we all suffer from trauma. We've all had it in some sense and form. And so you can't let that cripple you. You can't let that make your life miserable. You have to overcome that and stop and not hold grudges. And I know it's hard because I held grudges for years. But God, when you get that relationship with God, with Creator, He helps you to learn to let go. He helps you to learn to not hold on to that strife. And when you let go of the grudges, your blessings come in. And my blessings have been bountiful on so many levels, not just physically, but spiritually, on a spiritual level. And I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep praising Him. You know what I mean? And I don't go to church. I'm not part of a church or anything. This is my church right here. This is my church. I'm in church 24/7. And like I said, spiritualists, we do cuss. It's just we're human. We're human. And it's what it is.
Yeah, I know. Like you say, you don't go, you don't have any certain religions, and there's a purpose for that. There's a reason for that. If if you care to explain why.
So I call myself a universal spiritualist. And that's because I don't follow my native um, medicine man, medicine woman, road man. I don't follow that red road path of where you, it's like with your ancestors and your tribal, um, your indigenous connection to your tribe, because everyone's different. Every belief is different. Some people don't like snakes, and yet there's other tribes that do. Some people don't like owls, and there's other peoples that do. When you like, the ceremonies are so sacred, so sacred. I don't like really touching on that. But when it comes to universal spiritualism, you cannot, that's where the judgment comes in. You cannot judge. You are beyond this. You're beyond the political religion tactic of a four wall, that you're in the four walls. That's what I call it. It's like you're in this group, this the religion sect, if you will. And if it helps you, more power for you. Don't stop, but ask questions. Follow your heart, follow your spirit, because as much as you love Jesus Christ, as much as you love Him, then you should be talking to Him solo. There should be no in between. There shouldn't be. You should be able to talk to Him one on one. You know what I mean? That's your best friend, because He will never, Creator God, which is Jesus Christ's dad. And I love to say that Jesus Christ is one of our number one ascended masters. And what does He say in the Bible? In order to get to my Father, you must go to me, right? That's in the Bible.
Right.
Think about that. He said, in order to get to my Father, you must go through me. So that's a personal relationship with Him, right?
Right.
Right.
And that's why every time, when I do pray, I always say, "In Jesus' name, I pray."
Mm-hmm. It's what it's, and there's a lot of people say, or through the blood of Jesus, they'll say that.
Right.
um and everyone will have their own, even if you don't say it, because I don't. I say amen, so mote it be, and so it is. Because when our ancestors, we didn't have European religion. We heard the white people coming, as the stories tell it. But what hurts me the most, and this is truth, my truth of what I see, people died in the name of God in war so that humans can gain access to the minerals in the ground, the money, the gold, whatever it is. And to this day we still have war.
Yeah.
To this day we still have third world countries dying left and right while we're over here wasting food. That you could just go all into it. I can get deep. You could go through any level. That's one thing about spirituality. You can look at anything in any way and say, okay. Because we're not going to live forever. So what we leave behind is going to be, I want to be a legacy. I'm going to break my generational curses that my family had done. And I'm not carrying on that burden. That's not my burden. My burdens are me unlearning old behaviors, relearning, rebirthing Elena to her truth, and owning when I'm wrong. That was the most hardest thing because I was a controller. I had to control. And it would drive my husband crazy. And so now I call myself on it and say, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And then, if you can, because I know a lot of people don't understand the meaning behind amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, well, if you Google it, what does it tell you? Google, amen is like, amen is the solid foundation of, and so mote it be. It is what it is, and it is what it shall be. Amen. That's why I say so mote it be. And then so it is. I just concrete it with it because that's my spirituality. That's me.
And it's pretty much like saying you have to have so much, well, not so much, you believe in everything you just said, your faith, like amen is so powerful in your beliefs when you're in the, like when you're in a prayer or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's when you guys get there, when you guys want that personal relationship with God, when you want that, you'll start feeling different. It's a rebirth that's very painful. It's very dark. It's very scary because you got to own your truth. You got to own your wrongs. And you have to be forgiving of yourself for doing those things. And you have to be forgiving of others that did you wrong. And you have to forgive and you love your enemies and you pray for your enemies regardless. That was very, very hard at first for me to do, but now I do it. And like I say, when I get mad and like, oh, this person is pissing me off, but bless them. Bless them. Because I don't want bad, because then bad will come back to me. I don't want that.
Right. Kind of
You
like
know?
that.
So,
Kind of like that old saying, karma. That's to do
yeah,
with
karma.
karma.
And we all pay that. We all pay that for past transgressions. We all pay that for stuff that we did. And own it. Own it. If you know that's your karma, if that's your payment to break your coin, to break bread,
Yeah.
if you have to own it, then you own it. You gotta own it and say, you know what? I did this. This must be my karma. All right, I'm paying my debt in full.
Right. And it's crazy with karma, and you say you got to own it. So I have somebody's real close to me. And matter of fact, I'm gonna forward this to him after this, and when he listens to this part, he's gonna laugh. So, I went and visited him over there in at his sister's house, and he was laughing because his car got broken into, and
Mm.
they took his radio system. They took I think that was it. It was just his radio system, and he was laughing, and I had to ask him. I go, "You ain't pissed off? Why are you laughing?" And he was laughing. He goes, "Because," he goes, "honestly, they just stole what I stole." He goes, "I can't be
Yeah,
mad
see,
about it."
it just made it just did a revolving door. Yeah,
Yeah, he goes, "I can't be mad about it. They just stole what I stole,"
yeah.
and that's part of karma, pretty much, or it may have been the same person he stole it from. Who knows? But it was funny.
Yeah, he's like, he just took back what was his.
Yeah, yeah,
So I hate cutting this short, y'all, but this is my first time ever coming online speaking about my spirituality, about ascending. But I feel that it's important. When my brother got all juiced about it, and he said, "Man, I want you to tell the world. I want you to tell people, what you're doing." If you really knew my life and you knew the hardships that I had to endure, and a lot of them that I personally put myself in because of my choices, um, you would be like, "Damn,
yeah.
damn, she should be dead." That's
Yeah.
real talk.
And that's why when I got on before I end this, that's why the video I made before, I said if she can do it, anybody can do it. Literally, if she,
Yeah, for
well, honestly,
sure. For
that's not.
sure.
I like to joke a lot, but that right there is not a joke. If
Yeah.
you can do it, anybody can do it.
Right. Right.
And
And it's the mind, man. Your mind is so powerful, and you have to just reset, reset, just like you reset a phone, you reset a computer, you reset that brain, you reset that body, that spirit, everything. You reset.
and you
You
know what?
reset, huh?
That's a perfect note to end on for everybody's listening. If you're just watching this, do me a favor and reset this video and listen to it from the beginning.
I thank you guys, whoever got on and everything, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Yeah,
When
we
we
do have a part two of this for sure if you're up to it.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, in a few weeks. I'm working 7 days a week, y'all, and my brain is really fried, and at the same time, I still got to get my prayers in every morning before I start my day. I have to set myself up. I have to get my prayers and my affirmations on, and my meditations. That's my sounding board, because if I go out there and I start getting attacked and I wasn't suited up, if I wasn't armored up, I probably go worldly on them and kidnap. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's the old behavior.
yeah,
And I don't want that old behavior. I want the new. I love this new person. I love who I am today. I love the beauty and the essence of my soul and my spirit. And I just love me. I really do. I love who I am today.
that's perfect. I love that. And just like I don't hold no grudge or no hatred towards the individual that was in the car driving drunk. I accepted it
Mhm.
from the jump and just moved on. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. You guys, let me know in the comments after this video ends, or if you watch it later, what you think. If you guys want it back on live, which I'm pretty sure everybody will that watches it. But I want to end this way in all my videos, as you guys already know. Everybody that watches it, make sure you tell your loved ones you love them before you leave your house, because you're not guaranteed to make it home. Be a blessing. Stay blessed. I'm out.